As the host of Neutralize the Mama Trauma podcast, I am delighted to be able to bring you this podcast. My name is Wendy Lopez, and I would like to introduce myself to you. I specialize in helping people overcome their emotional blocks through different techniques, through emotional empowerment coaching and compassionate healing light facilitation. As a mom who has experienced narcissistic trauma, I help moms eradicate self-doubt in order to regain self-confidence to elevate their status both at home and at work. In our podcast, we discuss people's struggles, triumphs, and failures. We dive deeper into self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance, and mindful, holistic tips. In every episode, I hope that you can take a golden nugget of advice and apply it to the journey of motherhood in order to raise your level of awareness. Welcome to Neutralize the Mama Trauma podcast, where you find healing and creative mental thought advice from experts on past pain, narcissistic experiences, and trauma. Today, I have a special guest. Her name is Marjie Hadad. She is an international public relations expert, the general manager of Must Have Communications and Consulting, an Amazon #1 bestseller author, and an award-winning TV producer, as well as a coach and speaker on how to apply public relations strategies to parenting, life, and careers. The Power of PR Parenting is her first book. Marjie holds a bachelor's in broadcast journalism and an MA in international relations from both Boston University. She's married and is the mother of 3 children. She lives in Israel and the United States. For more information, you can go to www.mhc-pr.com and www.prf4.life. So, thank you, Marjie, for being here. I'm so grateful to introduce you to the audience. And we were speaking before, hitting record. And I'm so glad that you came on here because we can use one. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, and then you can tell us your story. But I really want to have the audience really hear about your book. We were talking about it before jumping on, and I feel that is a great tool for moms to have. So I just want to say that out front. So let us know who you are.
Hi, Wendy. Hi, ladies. Hi, moms out there. Hope everybody is having a reasonably decent day. And wherever you are, whether the sun is shining or not, the sun is shining wherever you are walking. So,
beautiful.
Look, I've been in public relations for 30 years now. And I have been PR parenting. That's a new term for y'all. PR parenting for nearly 26, because my son is turning 26. And my daughter, I have a son and 2 daughters, and the older one, while we were sitting on the couch one day, really just chatting, she said, "Mom, you made mistakes, but overall, I think you got it right. I think that you should write a book that will help the next generation of working moms to have an easier time parenting based on your experience and expertise." Well, after I picked my jaw up off the floor, because I was in absolute shock, gee, thank you. That's really nice. I thought to myself, well, what is it that I actually got right? What was it? And when I look back, Wendy, I understood that I had used my professional skills to parent. I didn't realize I was doing it at the time. It was just kind of naturally bringing what I would do at the office, I would bring it home. So point number 1, moms out there, a little advice from an older mom to younger moms or moms with little kids, all the way through teenagers. One of the things that makes you special is your professional skills, whatever they may be. And what's kind of nice is that public relations is a common denominator for a lot of professions out there in one way, shape, or form. Instead of leaving those at the office and only giving your best there, bring that stuff home. You know, in addition to the laundry, the dishes, the childcare, and all that regular mom stuff, bring the best of you and teach them what you know to be best, what you know to be true, what's fabulous about you in your professional world. Now, it doesn't matter whether they're good at it or not. Irrelevant. At least they had exposure to the sunshine in your world. And that's what I'm talking about. Bring the sunshine from the job home. All the other stuff, leave that stuff at work. They don't need to hear the stories of who did what to who. That's irrelevant.
Right.
But in the case of like public relations, I brought the concept of writing home and the concept of presentation skills and performance skills and crisis management and how to be resilient in any kind of situation. And it's okay to not get everything right the first time, because I always tell them, honey, there's no such thing as the perfect first draft. I've been writing and editing for decades, and I've never seen anybody get it right the first time. And in the office, at least 20 million people look at a document before it's approved, right? Everybody's got something to say, right?
Right.
So if that's the case, and that's what happens at the office for adults who've been doing this for years, then guess what? It's perfectly okay for you to have a first draft where somebody will say, fabulous, great job. Can I show you another way to do a couple of these things to make it even better? Positive reinforcement. Never dwell on what not to do. Always focus on what to do. So these are kind of examples of what I brought home and what I would encourage the moms out there. Moms, I hope you're listening. Whatever you're doing, you're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. I'm telling you that. If nobody else told you today, you are amazing. So take your special skill set and share it with your kids to help them be their best selves.
Oh, and I love that you are bringing that aspect out to moms, because I would just want to share that I worked in the industry, medical industry, for 24 years.
Oh, wow.
I decided to become a stay-at-home mom, but I left all my skills back. I didn't bring any of that into home. And so what happened when I made the choice of being a stay-at-home mom, I felt useless, because stay-at-home mom, I was learning different tasks, laundry, maintaining the house, making sure, whatever is needed, gardeners, you name it. Like, it was like taking care of the home. But that was not shining on me. That was not shining on me. And if anything, I was like a wilting flower. So the concept of you bringing this out is amazing, because I'm seeing how we separate ourselves from what really makes us shine at work to keeping it separate from being able to parent at home and using those skills, right? I mean, I guess I would think we would think of that, but we don't. We separate our work life with our, mom life. And if, like you said, if we were to shine just as we do at work, we can shine at home. And the confidence, the value, the self-esteem of moms, I believe, would be much greater.
I repeat, Wendy and all the moms listening, you are fantastic. Show your kids just how fantastic you are in a positive, helpful way.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about how your book is going to incorporate you being able to coach moms, what you were telling me. So how is that going to work?
Sure. So the book is called The Power of PR Parenting: How to Raise Confident, Resilient, and Successful Children Using Public Relations Strategies. And it's really easy. You can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
And anybody who gets the book, which you'll find at the end of each chapter, is a QR code. And that will lead you to a workbook, because there's exercises, folks. at the end in each chapter. So I'm going to show you with personal and professional stories, the concept, what I did and how I did it. And then I'm going to show you how you can do the exact same thing. And then if you go to the QR code and go to the workbook, the exercises in the book, the workbook will give you an expanded version of the same thing, but expanded. We go a little bit deeper. And then you can either type or write your answers. And that way you can print it and have something tangible in your hand, a real action plan. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I look at these things and I go, well, that's very nice. I really enjoyed the book. Great to have exercises here, but I don't want to do it myself.
Right.
I really want to walk through it with the person who knows or who invented the concept or who's an expert so that I can get that little bit extra because I'm working through a challenge. And honestly, I can see how this can help, but I need you to tell me how to get there or to help me figure out how I can get there. Because frankly speaking, you're the decision maker. I'm just your guide. Okay. Right. I will guide you, but you're the decision maker because the questions are universal. The answers are not. The answers are whatever works in your world, in your community, in your household, and only you know the proper answers for that. Right. So I'm available for coaching to walk you through, to teach you these strategies, to teach you these approaches. And maybe it's something like, Wendy, I've got this covered, but we've been doing this so many different times the same way. I need a new idea, a fresh, really cool way to help my child have more confidence, be more resilient, bounce back faster, improve their self-esteem, natural ways to do this that you can come up with so that I have a list of 10 things I could possibly do because I've just run out of ideas. I mean, everything I've been doing has been working. It's great, but I need more. So there's a group program and there's private coaching. And whatever you feel is right for you, I am available to you to help because we have a motto in our family, if you can help, you should help. So after 30 years of being in the public relations profession, working with medical technology clients, now my new mission is to help today's parents, and a special shout out to my fellow working moms. Look, ladies, I've already done this. This is history for me. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, I was not the perfect mom. Okay, learn from my mistakes. Don't do the same thing, but also mirror my successes. I got a couple things right, which is why my daughter, I guess, suggested that I write the book in the first place. So those are the things that are available. And if I can't help you, it would be my absolute pleasure and honor to do so. You're not in this by yourself. Whatever you're going through, I promise you, probably been there, seen it, and done it multiple times. Yes. So you're not alone. You're not alone. And I'll be glad to help you and join the community, the PR parenting community, and whatever you learn from this and you apply at home and your kids learn. We all know, Wendy, that whatever our parents tell us or our teachers tell us, we kind of hold in our heart and we take it into adulthood. Right? So if we're going to teach our kids confidence, resilience, success, self-love, they'll take that into their heart and they'll teach it to their kids and so on and so forth. So hopefully PR parenting becomes a movement, and 200 years from now, there's still PR parenting and we're living in a kinder, more respectful world.
Right. And I believe how this, resonates with the reason why I have Neutralize the Mama Trauma podcast. Because it all starts within us, right? As moms. And if we can better ourselves, we can be happier, and then we create a healthier generation of children. And as we see history,
that's the goal.
As we see history, we're now at a stage in history where we're starting to awaken to break the patterns and the cycles so we can have a healthier generation. And I really believe with movements that are happening, as such as yours, and I have my movement, it's going to really shift because this wasn't available even 10 years ago. And if it was available, it was more obscure. It's not quite out in the light as it is today because technology has really changed throughout the years. And so this is a beautiful platform to get awareness on how moms can find the tools, because it's not just me. I have my own clients. I have my own modality that I use. I work a lot with the subconscious, but it's not, I just don't see it as just me. I see it as a whole, how we can come as a whole and help moms that really devalue themselves because they don't see their skill set once, you know, they working from home, or they're a stay-at-home mom, or maybe they were a stay-at-home mom from the very beginning and don't have the skill set.
Give me 10 minutes. I'll be able to tell you exactly what wonderfulness you have. That's what I do. I can listen. I can listen to you for. I've been media and presentation training for over 30 years. I can listen for 10 minutes and I can tell you exactly what's amazing about you.
Oh,
and I can tell you, and I can tell you how to pull out even more amazingness from you.
Yes, beautiful. So before we close, can you tell us a practical tip that moms can use in their daily life or throughout their mom life, how they can remain more in their self instead of in the chaos? Like what did you do or to bring you more into who you were versus the craziness or chaos that motherhood can bring?
Well, in PR, in any given situation, there's always chaos. That's just the way it goes,
Right.
And no matter what office I was in, or even when I went out on my own as a consultant, there's always craziness. Just like at home, just like at the office. And I get real quiet when things get really nuts. And I try to focus in on the core of the issue. If my child was, carrying on, I would try to figure out how to help and not to handle. So I wouldn't brush them off. I would try. I used to say to my kids, why are you carrying on? You have 2 languages. Pick one and tell me what's on your mind. And then as soon as they told me, then we could problem solve, or they would get what they needed. It's pretty simple. Just block out all the nonsense, focus on the core issue, try to help rather than to handle. Because if you just handle somebody, they're going to go ballistic. Have you ever, you have called a company because there was some sort of complaint, and instead of helping you, they just brushed you off in a nice way? And you were no further when you hung up than you were when you started the call. It's annoying. It's frustrating. And I don't know about you, but that really pisses me off. So, customer service is a core component of public relations, but guess what? It's a core component of a lot of professions out there. And at home, we're the customer relations specialists with the kids. So that's why I'm saying, instead of brushing them off and handling them, find out what they're trying to tell you. And depending on the age will depend on their language skills and how articulate they can be. There's times, Wendy, when my kids would lobby to do something that I didn't really want them to do, but they lobbied so well. And it was always an opportunity to improve their English skills, to improve their lobbying skills, sentence construction, advocating for themselves, presentation skills, because when you're lobbying, you're presenting yourself, right? I would just, they were going at me, which was fine. That's what teenagers do. I said to myself, all right, use this as an opportunity to presentation train. Okay. If they're able to articulate themselves so well in a respectful way, because I say you have to be, if you want this, you're going to have to be respectful and tell me why you want it. And why should I change my answer from no to yes? Tell me why. Tell me why. Come on, bring it on. Bring it on. And they were wonderful. Now, what ends up happening is if they made a really good argument, then I might acquiesce and say, you know what? Okay. Makes sense. Good argument. Have a nice time. If it was their safety, it didn't matter what they said. My stiletto heels were dug in and they wouldn't go. That's it. Boundaries, lots and lots of
Right.
boundaries. There
Right.
is a point where no is no.
Mm-hmm.
But because they learned how to advocate at home, when they walk out of the house, they learn how to advocate respectfully outside of these doors
Mm.
too.
Yes, very powerful. Yes, because we are empowering them to be able to do that for themselves, right? And so, wow.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit more about, I really like what you said, how to help and not to handle. Can you kind of go in a little deeper on that? Like what does that mean so moms can we can learn that, like how to help and not to handle. Is that more like control, like wanting to handle the situation, but we're not listening, or what is that?
You're in the middle of work, or you
Mm-hmm.
want to finish something off, or you were taking a nap because you're just plain out exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And your child comes up to you and they are just freaked out about something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, your inner gut says, will you please just go away? I need to finish my work, or
Mm-hmm.
I need to finish my nap, or whatever. I want to finish doing what I was doing. But they keep going on. Now, if you brush them off, that's handling. We'll take care of it later.
Oh, okay.
You're screaming and crying. I don't want to be bothered with this. If you're going to scream and cry, I'm not interested. That's handling. That's just kind of deferring the issue. But if you say to yourself, you know what, the work can wait, it will still be there. The laundry can wait, it will still be there. I'm exhausted, but guess what? I'm always exhausted. Look, moms, when you become a mother, the question isn't how are you tired? Okay. The question isn't are you tired? The question is how tired are you? And there's
Mm-hmm.
varying levels of this.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to be tired. So nap now, nap later. The sky didn't fall. Okay. And say to your child, okay, you have my attention. What is it that you need?
Mm-hmm.
And if they're still crying and carrying on, say, I need you to share with me. First of all, I love you. Give them a hug if they'll let you hug, because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they're like so uptight
Mm-hmm.
that they won't let them hug you. Let you hug them. And very calmly say, I'm here to help you. How can I help you? What do you need? Mommy will help
Mm-hmm.
you, but I need to understand what you need. Now, it might be they just couldn't find their pacifier.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you find the pacifier, done deal. Crisis,
Mm-hmm.
crisis,
Right.
you know,
Right.
dissolved, right? It could
Right.
be they're hungry and they're too short to get the fruit at the top of the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
It might be something very, very simple, or it could be something that's alarming and they're just trying to get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, you really want to be tuned into what they're saying. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean about helping rather than handling.
Okay, I just wanted to get more clarification on that so we can apply that somehow, some way, because I believe we all do that. It's like almost automatic. We handle and brush off versus helping, and it's beautiful too because it just reminds me how if we go and apply that in a healthier way, we are meeting our children's needs. And a lot of us grow up as adults, right? Having inner child issues that our needs weren't met. So it's hard for us to meet our needs when we're an adult. So when we have children, it's hard for us to meet their needs. So that is great to be able to be available.
Yeah, it's about being available. Look, when you're at the office, or even if you're working from home, if your client or boss or customer or what have you calls you up and says, and they're screaming about something, you're not going to scream back. You're not going to tell them that you can't talk with them right now. You're going to say, please, I'm available to help you. What can I do for you? Because that's your job, right? You need to
Hmm.
be there and deliver, otherwise you don't get paid, right? You
Hmm.
have to perform. So if we're that respectful, in our professional lives, why wouldn't we be that respectful in our private lives, and especially with our children? They're our babies, after all. This is the most important job we're ever going to have, is raising the next generation.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
very, very important. And we operate in a certain way at the office. And again, bringing your special skills home. And when you were with your children, here's another point, moms. When you're with your children and you get a work call, don't you always ask your kids to hold on and you take the work call and see what your customer or your boss wants? Generally, we do that, right? So if we're on a work assignment and our kids call, or our kids want to distract us at home, shouldn't we take the time, just like we did on the reverse? Shouldn't we take the time to see what our kids need? The client can wait 5, 10 seconds, 10 minutes. This actually happened to me recently during an interview. It was a press interview with one of my medical clients. And I saw that a call was coming in from my daughter. And I understood that she needed me. So I picked up the phone and I excused myself. And I knew that what was going on would be perfectly fine, and that they needed me, they would just call me back in. So I walked out of the room and I honored my commitment and gave the respect to my daughter, helped her to problem solve. And then I walked back into the meeting.
And, it's interesting. You have this natural mindset of applying your office naturally to your home life. What would you say to people that have the mindset of, but I'm getting paid, but at home I'm not?
Oh, yeah, you're getting paid. You're going to get paid. First of all, there's no better payment than your child smiling at you, throwing their arms around you, and telling you that they love you. You can't buy that. That's number one. Number two, I hope that someday you're sitting on a couch with your child who's 21, 2 years old, and they say to you, "Hey, mom, you've made mistakes, but overall you got it right. Thank you so much for everything."
Yes, so beautiful. It's so true.
Let me tell you something, Wendy. That was worth every paycheck in the world. And then when we get older, who's going to choose our independent living facility? Be nice to your kids, moms. Be really nice to your kids,
It's true.
Yes,
and
you're getting paid. You're definitely getting paid. And
very
you're getting
true.
paid in something that's worth more than money.
Right. And that is, I brought that up because that's a social conditioning that I see from moms, getting paid, and then they're at home and there's no paycheck. But like I told you before jumping on, I have 3 children, and my littlest one, who's 10, actually he's 11 now, but he told me, trial and error, right? So it took 3 to really be more of a conscious parent, understanding, available. But this is what we're here for, right? This is exactly, we learn.
Right.
And then, like you said, please mirror our successes. This is what we want, right? So he told me, he's like, you know what, mom, you should write a book about, and including like what you do with work. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. At that age, for him to tell me that. And like you said, that's priceless. That's gold.
You know what the other payment is, Wendy? And this is a big one for all the moms out there. Legacy.
Oh, yeah, that's even deeper.
Legacy. How are they going to remember Grandma Wendy and Nana Marjie someday, or whatever they call us? I have a cousin who goes by Glamma because she's very stylish. So she's Glamma. She's Glamma.
Okay.
I love it. She's fantastic. She's gorgeous. She's got style. She's lovely. She's a terrific mom, a wonderful Glamma. Anyway, legacy. Because someday when we're long gone, wouldn't it be nice if they talk about us nicely and they remember us kindly and fondly? What kind of a payment is that, to being able to pay it forward that way? So moms, it might not come in the form of a a financial reward in terms of being able to pay the bills with it. But maybe it could come in a financial reward, because if we do well with our kids, then maybe they earn a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And it saves us a little college tuition, or they go to the military and they serve their country, and then the military ends up paying for the education. That's cash in the bank. Or they do something wonderful in their profession and they get a bonus and they take you out for dinner. Isn't that cash in your pocket? They bought dinner that night. That works for me.
There's many forms, right?
It's all good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, the list can go on. So just because it doesn't come right now, basically you're taking the clay and you're molding it. And if you mold it well and everything's going well, life gets in the way, circumstances get in the way, current events get in the way sometimes. But if we can roll with it well, keep our sense of humor, keep our focus, it should all eventually turn out okay. And it's not always a straight line. There's a lot of zigzagging.
Right.
And that's okay. That's okay. But take a deep breath. Know it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yes,
and try to enjoy the journey. Try to enjoy the journey.
I love it. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for making yourself available to us and for creating something so special for the world, for moms. And I'm so glad that you're on the podcast today. And I look forward to sharing all of your details of where they can find you. Can you tell us where they can find you online?
Yes, moms. I would love to hear from you. I love to chit chat, but even more, I love to listen and to learn about you. So you can find me at Marjie Hadad on Instagram. Marjie's with a J, by the way. So Marj like Jerusalem, IEHAD like David AD. My book portal and where the program is and where you can join the community. Come and join the PR parenting community. We're going to have a lot of fun. That's at www.PRFOR.life. So PR4, spell out the 4, life.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. So we will stay in touch. I definitely love your work, and I would like to also, help people find you. So I'm glad that you were able to find me, find the podcast, and thank you so much. And we'll talk soon.
That sounds great, Wendy. You are fabulous. I just love you, and I have a lot of respect for your work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to Neutralize the Mama Trauma podcast. If you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any new episodes. It would also mean the world to me if you're able to take a moment and rate and review my podcast on how it was helpful to you. Also, please connect with me on my social media platforms. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next episode.